Hey everyone! So today I want to do a review and swatch of the WULT Beauty Woke Up Like This and their physical sunscreen called Sunfluff in the shade the Nude. This has an SPF of 30, broad spectrum PA3 pluses, and this is a lightly tinted physical UV protection salve to brighten all skin tones, making it look so good and so fresh and nude skin and that type of look. It's a physical sunscreen as opposed to a chemical one, which means that it will form more of a barrier for the UV rays to bounce off your skin, as opposed to if it was a chemical sunscreen, it would go into your skin and filter out. So it's definitely, in my opinion, this is the type of sunscreen I would want. It has a impeccable and amazing light fluffy texture, which is very comfortable, and I think this would be a texture that would suit people of different skin types, whether you're oily or dry or sensitive. And it has moisturizing, healing, and antioxidant effects. It is a non-greasy formula. It's a sheer tone balance with superfoods and ingredients like goji berry and green tea. And it's important to note that since this is a physical sunscreen, there's titanium dioxide and zinc oxide as the first two ingredients. There's also niacinamide in this sunscreen, which I think is very special because niacinamide is a very good and often talked about skincare ingredient. So it's very nice that it's incorporated in this everyday sunscreen product. I believe that the Sunfluff also comes in a few other shades. One is Peachy Preach, which is a very light peachy color. One's a light blue, pastel blue color. Then there's also a green one, a lavender one, and I think another purple one for different purposes if you want even your skin tone, brighten up your skin tone, and brighten up the dullness. And I chose the Good Nude one because it has the most coverage out of all of them. This product also comes in a glass bottle, which is very fancy for a sunscreen. And the component is very heavy, so this might not be the best component or sunscreen product to travel with because it is very heavy and it is in a glass bottle. So just keep that in mind and be careful when you're going to places with this. This product has 40 milliliters, which I think is pretty standard for a sunscreen product. And the texture of this sunscreen is definitely more like a tinted moisturizer and maybe not as thin as some of the chemical sunscreens I've used before. This product also comes in a pump, which I think is pretty special because I usually come across sunscreens and they come out in squeezy tubes. There's one thing I'd like to touch on with the pump. It's very nice and handy because then the air doesn't really go in and not a lot of dust contaminates the product when you use it. But sometimes the pump is difficult to press out the product. And there was definitely a time where it would just squirt out product sporadically. So now I'm going to show you what one pump looks like. And as you can see, it's a very tinted, very colored, pigmented dollop. The color here and the whole feel it gives is very reminiscent of a foundation, but as you can see, as I spread it out here and push it out, it's a very sheer tinted formula, and it's not very thick. It leans more on the dewy side, and as you can see, it's a very watery texture, very thin, and this is something I don't find or get a lot with physical sunscreens. And that is definitely my favorite part about the product, is that it's a physical sunscreen and it offers that bounce off effect of the sun rays without making it super cakey or super heavy on the skin. And it's because it's so watery that it doesn't deter me from using sunscreen because I've used physical sunscreens before and they're all too thick and they often leave a very, very noticeable white cast. But this one certainly doesn't, and it's because it's slightly tinted but a very thin, watery texture. It allows me to even out my skin tone without covering it or making certain parts of my skin, blotchy parts or dry parts, too noticeable. But rather, it just evens out your skin tone. So if you have very severe acne scars, or I have some acne scars, or if you have some freckles, they will definitely show through, just not as apparent as they are. So it's lightly covered. And the difference is between my left and right hand. My left hand is obviously more dewy and luminous, whereas my right hand without the sunscreen is very matte. And this is a very nice finish to your sunscreen. It evens out your skin tone, but also gives you that lifelike, skin-like finish with slightly dew and a little bit of luminosity. And because of its very light texture and very watery, thin texture, It makes it ideal to use all season round, all year round, and makes it nice in the winter when it's colder, but also is very nice in the summer because it's very thin and it won't really make you feel very cakey or heavy on the face. But what they recommend, if you still feel like it's too hot and heavy, you can mix it in with a hyaluronic acid serum or something to thin it out. And I definitely like this part and all these elements to this product because I think it truly makes a unique formula for physical sunscreens, because I think a lot of people go for chemical sunscreens because they can come on clear and it's a lot lighter in texture. And you can see how much I love this sunscreen product because I already have two backups, because I do think this is something that works for my combination oily sensitive skin. And a really good part about this is that it also doesn't clog my pores, which is amazing because I do have acne prone skin. And overall, I would really recommend this to everyone because I think this is a good texture and a good consistency that would work for, I think, everyone. So I hope you found this review helpful, and if you did, definitely give it a thumbs up and comment if you have a question and subscribe if you would like. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!